So good morning, everyone. Welcome to a Brilliant Businesses podcast. My name is Nick Bryant, and this morning I'm very pleased to be with Matt Edbrooke from FIXIO.
Hello, Nick. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You all right?
Yes.
Good. So people that don't know who FIXIO are, they used to be the Mac Man, started off in Brighton, now in Tunbridge Wells, Sevenoaks and Crawley. They offer professional IT support and tech repairs throughout Sussex, Kent and Surrey now.
Indeed.
Matt is the founder of FIXIO. We've previously spoken to his business partner, John Tracquar. And John has explained his story, but it'd be really nice to hear your story because he did talk about how you started on your bike going around Brighton, repairing people's Macs.
Yeah, brilliant. That was the start of it all, really, on my bike, pootling about in the rain. So I started out, I used to work for an Apple reseller, basically, and people used to come into the shop and need help with their Apple kit at home, basically. And that wasn't something that they were providing at the time. So I thought, there's something here. So after a few months of many people asking me about that option service and nothing was available, I thought I'm going to go out and do it. So I slowly moved out of that role and went to visit people on my bike and fix their computers, really. And back then it was quite simple stuff, just general bit of maintenance, problematic software, things like that. And then it kind of started to grow from there, really.
So when was that? What year was that?
Oh, God, that was probably about 2006, 7, something like that.
And you just did Apple stuff, or did you try and help other stuff?
Yeah, really Apple-centric, because at the time, there weren't many people out there that were offering an Apple service or solution, and they were reasonably new and a bit different, they weren't the Windows machines that people were used to, so the support wasn't really there. And they were cool as well, the iPod come along and turned it all really cool, and they were having a bit of a resurgence, so it was Apple-centric support.
Because back then they had the iMacs had like a big bulbous back, didn't they? And they still had the different colours and things.
They were brilliant. They were kind of part of the whole,
because they just looked different, didn't they? And they looked
so different, and they were very good at product placement as well. So all the films, you would see them in the films sitting on the desk. They looked cool, and they played the part, and that was all part of the big resurgence of Apple, really. Along with the iPod.
Very sort of Brighton, I guess, at the time as well.
It was
a creative place.
Yeah, absolutely. Brighton's full of trendy, creative folk, so it kind of worked really well. And to this day, it still works pretty well.
So you started doing that. You built up a client base. You left the old job. And thought you started off on your own. And then how did it sort of evolve from there?
So it's all very organic, really. So people would come and ask for repairs on their Macs, and there wasn't many people doing repairs. And so I just gave the service that people asked for, really quite straightforward, not rocket science. So started on to repairs, which meant I needed a sort of workshop to base myself in to do the repairs, and then I couldn't do everything, go out, visit people, speak to people on the phone and do the repairs, so I needed someone to come and man the workshop. And then you'd have people turning up at the workshop, and so it was an organic development, really, but it worked really well. And a lot of those customers that started using us back then are still with us now as customers. So it's really good. It's organic growth, but sustained organic growth, really.
I like that. I like the way a business grows like that. There's no forcedness in it. It's just grown through naturally by offering a good service.
Absolutely.
And repeat custom, and then word of mouth spreading. Because we were talking earlier, you don't really market the business that much. Obviously, you've got your website and you do things like this, but
we don't as much as we should. That is definitely sure. It's the same with the shops. It's all about customer service, really, and people come back to us because of great customer service, and that's kind of what we pride ourselves on. And that follows through all the areas of the business, really. So from the very start, that was really important to us. And it works, people build a relationship with you and staff members, and that kind of rings true, really.
It carries on through, doesn't it?
It's great.
So let's just go through what you do now, and how you help people.
Okay, cool. So I manage the support side of the business, really, so the retail shops, John handles, and I think he spoke about that in the interview he
Yep.
did. So I really head up the support side of the business, and that's really focused on offering professional IT services to businesses, small businesses, medium-sized businesses that maybe don't want to manage it themselves, can't
Yep.
manage it themselves, and so they will outsource that to us.
Okay.
So that's kind of my focus at the moment, really.
Yeah. And you've got the 4 different locations, as I mentioned, Sevenoaks, Tunbridge Wells, Brighton and Crawley. You concentrate on those areas?
Yeah, we tend to, because a lot of the leads will come through the shops, so that's often how people find us.
Yeah.
And then they will get in touch and so it does tend to be those areas,
Okay.
Brighton, Sussex, Surrey.
Yeah.
We have London clients as well.
Yeah.
But it's the south, really.
Okay. And it's not just Apple stuff anymore?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
As part of the brand change, name change, we were doing a lot more in terms of Windows support and things like that. So we rebranded as FIXIO to sort of encompass that. So no, it's everything.
It's everything.
Windows, Android devices, Chromebook.
How do you keep up with it all? You're constantly learning, I guess.
It's a constant battle and learning game. Yeah, it is quite full on. You have to just be on it, and you just have to be doing a lot of learning and a lot of research all of the time.
Yeah, and I guess sometimes you're learning on the job as well, are you?
Yeah.
Something comes in, you...
To a degree, there's always that element. You can sometimes only get the experience through doing it, and learning and
because
finding out.
You get a machine that's got a problem, you know how to fix it because that's what you did on the last machine.
Sometimes that's simplistic. You just have to sit down, do it, work it out, and then you know. So that knowledge that you gain through experience is gold, and you then have to pass that on to the rest of the team, make sure that everyone's aware, so you don't have to repeat those steps. But it's a constant learning game. It gets quite stressful, but that's sort of part of the fun when you're a bit of a geek.
Now on the website it says that you're now members of the Apple Independent Repair Program.
Yes,
that's something you've had to work towards.
Yeah, it is. It's quite hard work, but yes, we are, and that basically means that we can source parts direct from Apple without having to worry about sourcing them from other places. So quality is good. We know the heritage, and it also allows us to do repairs that we wouldn't have been able to do before. So some warranty work, things like that. But it's a good thing for us to do, and it's good to talk about. So talk us through your average customer. So I mean, on the support side of things, we tend to enjoy working with small to medium-sized businesses, really. Often they are the creative types, the creative industries, media, PR, film, audio, those kind of things. The smaller business is great because they tend to grow, and then we grow with them, really, So that's our sort of sweet spot, and we like working with the smaller to medium-sized businesses, because it's good to grow with them, and then you build up a really good relationship with them as well, and you grow together ultimately.
So the sort of businesses that you're looking for are small to medium-sized businesses as well?
I would say so, I mean, that could be anything from 5 to 30 people, but that's where we sort of fit in and work nicely, and then as they develop, we grow with them.
Do you live and breathe like IT?
Sadly, I think I do. It's one of those things. You kind of do. And people talk about IT burnout and things like that because you're constantly having to learn. But I mean, really, I think if you are a bit of a geek and you're a bit of an IT person, you just do.
It's natural.
You just read stuff. You want to play around with stuff, and you want to fiddle about and break things and fix things. That's kind of the technician in me and most of our guys, It's interesting. I remember taking apart my dad's record player when I was about 8 or something like that, and he was absolutely fuming, but I just had to know how this turntable worked. And so it's sort of always been in me, I think.
How many staff now have you got across the...
So I think we're about 14, 15.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And do they go on training courses and stuff like that to keep up to date?
Yeah, it's quite important to keep people up to date.
Yeah.
So that as much training as we can give them, it's really important. Okay. And also making sure that, as I said earlier, the experience that you gain from being out on site, you relay that to your team, so you're not wasting those that knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you like about it the most?
What do I like about it most?
What do you like working with FIXIO and the company? And
well, it's never a dull moment. It's always a challenge to have. So that troubleshooting thing for me is great. I love fixing.
When you solve a problem.
I love fixing a problem because it's good, isn't it? You do it, you leave and walk away going, that's great. Everyone's happy with that.
Yeah.
So that's always the good part of it for me. It's the people as well. Because we do build up really long relationships with our clients, you get to know them quite intimately, and all of our support team generally manage the same client base, so they have a team of each team looks after the specific client, so they get to know each other really well, and it's just nice to be involved in other people's business and help them through it really, and you see them grow, you see them develop from 4, 5, 6 people to 20, 25 people.
Yeah.
And it's nice to go on that journey with them. And that's kind of what I like and think sets us apart a little bit, really.
Okay.
Because we kind of do cherish that relationship, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. I've got an iMac, which I work on editing these things.
Yeah.
And I had a problem with it where I started that one day and it just kept going round and round and round, and it was going nowhere. And I think I had one of these to get out the next day or the day after. And I was in panic mode.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people probably are when their machine doesn't work properly.
100%.
And I took it into your shop and it was repaired within a couple of days.
Right.
At a price that was a lot lower than I expected. So I was so pleased. But I think people may not realise how important the reliability of their machines is to them or their business.
Yeah, 100%.
And when you do that for someone, they are so. Well, I was so relieved. So you must get that.
Yeah, that is brilliant.
Appreciation.
Absolutely. Yeah. That I forget that, but because generally it's problem based. You're a bit like a doctor. People come in, they give you all the problems, and it's like, it's always negativity. But those moments when someone's very appreciative of getting them back up and running within a matter of days, that's brilliant. Yeah, it always makes our day, really.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're right. People don't really look after their machines and equipment as best as they should.
No, and I'm bad because I waited for it to go wrong.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm sure a lot of people do. But
classic. It's what everybody does.
So you offer support packages.
Yes, we do. Yeah. So we will offer support and maintain your machines, and in a proactive sense.
Yeah.
If you sign up for one of our agreements, then we will proactively monitor your machine, make sure it's always up to speed, and preempt those failures, really, so you don't have to go through that stress and grey hair.
Yeah, preempt the failures. I like that.
Preempt the failures is what it's all about, and people love that. If you go in or speak to the client and go, did you know this is happening? We should sort that out before that's what it's all about, really.
Yeah.
You don't want to be reacting. It's all about being proactive, really.
Yeah. And these iPhones, they're everyone relies on them so much. Well, not just iPhones, Android devices as well. But they break and people drop them, and you drop them in a cup of tea or whatever you do. You just do that sort of normal stuff, if you like, low key stuff.
Oh yeah. So anything. Phones, Android, iPhone, whatever it might be, we can fix. Laptops. Yeah. They take a trip down the toilet or whatever. Anything. All sorts of stuff.
Is it true that you can put them in a bag of rice and it sorts that out?
Yeah. Well, it is true. You can do that,
yeah.
but it doesn't necessarily sort them out.
No.
The idea is that the rice will absorb the moisture and draw it out from inside the machine. But
never the same again.
It's
probably.
kind of it will do it, but it won't fix it.
Yeah.
Bit of a myth.
Yeah. So, thanks, Matt. I mean, that's great. I mean, I've heard all I need to hear about your story. That was awesome. Right. So I wanted to hear that because obviously I heard John's side. What's your typical day like? What are you up to today? What's you back at all the stores, or how do you work throughout your day?
Yeah. So, generally support-related stuff.
Yeah.
But I've been in Brighton for the last couple of months, just getting things straight there. We've had a bit of a refit and rejig down there, so it's all changed. That's good. But yeah, on a day-to-day basis, I could be anywhere. Yeah, I could be all over the place doing bits and bobs. Visiting clients, I still like to get out and see people and
that's nice.
have a chat and get stuff sorted. So often out and about.
And you still see some of the clients you saw back in the day.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's great.
Yeah. Okay, well that's cool. If anyone needs any help from you guys on whether it's Mac, whether it's PC, then they can just get in contact with you through your website.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take one of the machines into your stores.
Yeah. Or if anyone wants to get in touch directly, it's matt@fixio.co.uk. Just ping us an email.
Okay, and those sort of small to medium-sized businesses that have got 10, 20 machines, they're the sweet spot for you.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, obviously bigger is great as well, and we can handle that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that works well. People that might have an old server sitting in the cupboard clonking away, not sure when it's going to give up.
Yeah.
And want to move to the cloud or whatever, those kind of solutions we can help with.
Excellent.
All of that, give us a shout.
Excellent. Okay. Well, thanks again, Matt. Good to see you.
Thanks, Dave.
And we'll see you all for another podcast soon.
Take care.